Beneath the surface of the internet exists a hidden world. A place where anonymity fuels some of the darkest and most dangerous corners online. This is the dark web, a digital underworld filled with secret marketplaces, forbidden forums, and websites most people will never even hear about. These sites aren't just mysterious, they're terrifying. In this video, we're diving deep into some of the most terrifying dark web websites, the ones law enforcement fears, hackers abuse, and ordinary people would never dare to visit. Before we begin, please like and subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you think. And now, let's step into some truly terrifying dark web websites. Cracked, Nulled, Celix, and Stark RDP. Need cracked software, compromised accounts, or tools capable of taking down websites? For years, sites like Cracked, Nulled, Celix, and Stark RDP became major hubs for cybercrime, operating openly in plain sight. But on January 29, 2025, they vanished. Operation Talent, a massive international operation led by the FBI and Europol, shut them down overnight. Raids, arrests, and millions of dollars in damages. Here's how it happened. Operation Talent was a multinational investigation involving extensive coordination between law enforcement agencies across several countries, including the United States, Romania, Australia, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, and Greece. As mentioned earlier, the operation specifically targeted 4 major platforms: Cracked, Nulled, Celix, and Stark RDP. These sites specialized in distributing cracked software, including Adobe products, video games, stolen information, and illegal cybercrime-related services. Those services ranged from OnlyFans leaks to website takedowns, doxing targets, and even attacks designed to destroy networking hardware. Cybercriminals from around the world advertised their services on these platforms, offering leaked content, high-balance PayPal accounts, and other stolen digital assets. Some services were offered for free. Others came with a price tag. For years, these websites operated without consequences, until January 29, 2025. The following banner appeared across all of these websites. And as fake as it may seem, it was completely real. The operation led to the following results. 2 individuals were arrested in Spain. 7 separate properties were searched. 17 servers were seized. 50 electronic devices were confiscated. And authorities recovered more than 300,000 euros in both cash and cryptocurrency. According to seizure warrants unsealed today, the Cracked marketplace had been selling stolen login credentials, hacking tools, and servers used for hosting malware and stolen data since March of 2018. The platform reportedly had more than 4 million users, hosted over 28 million posts advertising cybercrime tools and stolen information, generated approximately $4 million in revenue, and affected at least 17 million victims across the United States. One product advertised on Cracked gave users access to billions of leaked website records, allowing them to search for stolen login credentials. Authorities say the tool was recently used to harass and extort a woman in the Western District of New York. According to investigators, a cybercriminal entered the victim's username into the system, and gained access to her online account credentials. Using that information, the suspect allegedly cyber-stalked the victim and sent threatening and degrading messages. Meanwhile, the FBI stated that Nulled had been operating since 2016 and had over 5 million active users. The site allegedly hosted cybercrime tools, stolen login information, fraud guides, stolen identification documents, and much more. Investigators estimate that the platform generated over $1 million annually. One advertisement reportedly claimed to contain the names and social security numbers of more than 500,000 American citizens. Although the platform operated on the clear net, it also maintained a presence on channels like Telegram, where staff members confirmed the takedown just moments after it happened. One message reportedly described it as a sad day for the community. An active administrator known as Sun was also arrested. Authorities allege that he handled escrow services on the platform, helping facilitate transactions involving stolen identities and compromised credentials. He was charged with conspiracy to traffic passwords and stolen information, conspiracy to solicit others to provide unauthorized access devices or sell access-related information, and conspiracy to possess, transfer, or use another person's identity in connection with unlawful federal activity. In simple terms, if convicted, he's facing serious prison time, up to 30 years behind bars across all charges. Still, many users online believed these takedowns never truly last. Some speculated the domains were probably already back online somewhere else. RIP. I'm sure they'll be back within a week, either on new domains or maybe even the same one. Others were even more cynical. Yeah, this just means it's another site's turn. These takedowns are basically pointless. Some users believed these hacking forums were scams from the very beginning. Hacking forums have basically been dead for years. A new one always appears and turns into another scam. But according to the FBI, this takedown had a major impact. Russian anonymous marketplace. Silk Road had many successors, but none matched the longevity of Ramp, also known as the Russian anonymous marketplace. Inspired by Silk Road's anonymous cryptocurrency-based model, Ramp became a marketplace primarily used for selling narcotics. It offered one of the largest selections of drugs anywhere on the dark web, but with one major difference. It only served Russian-speaking users. After the original Silk Road was shut down, countless clones appeared, and most were quickly dismantled by authorities. The largest of them, Silk Road 2, survived exactly 1 year after the original shutdown. Ramp, however, survived for nearly 5 years, from September 2012 until July 2017. Unlike a traditional eBay-style marketplace, Ramp operated more like Craigslist, a forum where buyers and sellers could find each other directly. Once contact was established, most users would leave the forum and move to external platforms, such as off-the-record messaging, to finalize the transaction. Off-the-record messaging, often shortened to OTR, was a cryptographic communication protocol, essentially a fully encrypted and highly secure version of modern messaging apps. It also provided something called deniable authentication. In simple terms, the people communicating could verify who they were talking to, but later, that conversation couldn't easily be proven to a third party, including law enforcement. While Ramp did offer an escrow system similar to Silk Road, most buyers and sellers preferred using OTR messaging before making payments in Bitcoin or through the Russian payment platform Kiwi. Vendors on the site were known to be extremely cautious. Products were often triple sealed and in some cases delivered through dead drops, hidden locations where buyers could retrieve packages anonymously. Buyers could also leave reviews on vendor profiles. One especially satisfied customer wrote, "In the nose, there's no foreign taste. It isn't bitter. The scent is clean, and it doesn't burn." So how exactly did Ramp make money? Simple. Top vendors paid monthly fees for access to private sections of the forum, roughly $300 per month. For another $700 monthly, vendors could purchase banner advertisements to promote their products directly on the site. And for the most serious sellers, especially those targeting Moscow's highly competitive market, there was an even more exclusive option: a restricted quota list. Access reportedly cost $1,000 per month. The site's administrator, known only as Darkside, eventually agreed to an interview with Wired magazine, conducted entirely through Ramp's private messaging system over Tor. Darkside remained completely anonymous. He never revealed his gender, his identity, or even his location. When asked where he was from, he simply replied, "A galaxy far, far away." Despite the secrecy, he reportedly spoke fluent English and openly discussed parts of the operation. According to him, the marketplace generated more than $250,000 annually, though compared to earlier darknet giants, that number was relatively modest. But compared to its predecessors, Ramp survived far longer. According to Darkside, earning six figures was considered completely normal where he lived, wherever that actually was. In his own words, "I might be considered wealthy by local standards, but you can't really live well on a legal salary here. We're not dollar millionaires, just upper middle class people doing our jobs and feeding our families." Darkside also reportedly planned to expand the marketplace, possibly by adding a payment system similar to Silk Road's, or even opening the platform to English-speaking users, like several competing sites had already done. So how did Ramp survive for so long during a time when Silk Road clones were being seized almost every other week? One theory suggests Western authorities simply avoided targeting it. The site primarily served Russian-speaking users and was believed to be hosted in Russia, a place where authorities were often accused of overlooking online cybercrime activity. Darkside himself once claimed, "We never mess with the CIA. We only work with Russians, and that keeps us safe." You can't go against the entire world and expect to stay protected. The site itself was also surprisingly primitive. It lacked a built-in payment system and avoided unnecessary complex features, which ironically made it much harder to hack. Ramp focused almost entirely on narcotics, strictly banning weapons, stolen credit cards, counterfeit documents, and even some legal products. Compared to similar darknet markets, it was unusually restrictive. The platform also banned political discussions entirely. According to DarkSide, politics attracted unwanted attention, and that was the last thing they wanted. Although the marketplace endured frequent DDoS attacks, it repeatedly returned online until July 2017. That was when Russian police officially confirmed that the largest remaining darknet marketplace had finally been shut down. That same month, two other major darknet drug markets, Alpha Bay and Hansa, also disappeared. Many people believed law enforcement had intentionally ignored Ramp. But according to Russian authorities, that wasn't true. A Russian news agency later received the following statement. As a result of operations conducted in July 2017, the largest Russian-language trading platform, Ramp, the Russian anonymous marketplace, was terminated. The MVD stated that it had permanently implemented measures designed to identify and suppress criminal organizations involved in distributing synthetic narcotics, dangerous chemical substances, and precursor materials through the internet. Authorities said their primary objective was to disrupt supply chains and dismantle organized criminal groups involved in online drug trafficking. Dark code. If the dark web had its own Wall Street, dark code would have been its stock exchange, a high-risk marketplace where elite hackers from around the world bought, sold, and traded illegal digital goods, including stolen identities, hacking tools, and massive botnets. From the outside, it looked ordinary, just another hidden online forum. But behind the scenes, it operated like a highly organized cybercrime enterprise. If you wanted someone to compromise an email account, purchase stolen credit cards, or control an army of infected computers, dark code was the place to go. This wasn't a chaotic underground chat room. It was polished, efficient, and extremely dangerous. Cybercriminals traded secrets, malware, and stolen data as casually as people download apps onto their phones. Compared to competing forums, authorities considered dark code one of the most dangerous cybercrime communities online. It reportedly hosted some of the world's most skilled criminal hackers and represented a serious threat to global data security. Prominent attorney David Hickton once described dark code as the most sophisticated English-speaking forum for criminal hackers in the world, and one of the gravest threats to computer data integrity in the United States. That alone reveals the scale and influence this darknet forum once had. Dark code was originally launched in 2009 by a programmer known as Acero. At first, the site mainly existed to distribute a malicious tool called Butterfly Bot. If you're familiar with cybersecurity, you may recognize it by another name, Mariposa, one of the most infamous botnets of its time. Discovered in 2008, the botnet was heavily used for denial of service attacks. It silently infected vulnerable computers, monitored sensitive information, and spread itself across additional systems. Once a device was fully compromised, it would connect back to the attacker's server and become part of the botnet, used for operations such as DDoS attacks. Removing the malware reportedly cost tens of millions of dollars, and more than 800,000 people had personal information stolen. By the end of 2009, United States authorities had seized control of the botnet. But unfortunately, the operators regained control of the botnet and launched a retaliatory attack, one that disrupted internet connectivity for multiple Canadian universities and government agencies. The following year, Spanish authorities arrested the suspected leader behind the botnet, along with 2 additional suspects. The creator of Butterfly Bot, the malware that started it all, was Acero, also known online as Machizornik. He was arrested in Maribor, Slovenia, but later released due to insufficient evidence. Around that same period, Acero transferred control of the Darkcode forum to another figure known as Crim, the creator of an exploit kit called Crime Pack, which had been sold during the forum's early years. Acero was arrested again in October 2011, and by December 2013, he was officially convicted in Slovenia. Authorities charged him with creating malicious software used to hack information systems, assisting criminal activity, and money laundering. Facing nearly 5 years in prison, you'd probably assume his online career was over. But just 1 year later, he founded NiceHash, a cryptocurrency mining marketplace. Then in 2019, he was detained once again in Germany after the FBI reopened the Mariposa botnet investigation with new charges. Anyway, back to Darkcode. Once Acero began selling his malware, the forum exploded in popularity and eventually became invite-only. Existing members were given invitation codes that they could distribute to anyone they trusted. That system made Darkcode appear far more exclusive and far more trustworthy. A few years later, in 2012, the site introduced a new access model. Membership was now divided into multiple levels. The first level, known as Level 0, or Fresh Fish, was granted to new users after they received an invitation and passed an interview with a site administrator. The next rank above that was Level 1. To gain trusted access, members had to prove themselves, and only then could they enter the real core of the Level 1 marketplace. Eventually, the system was updated to prevent Fresh Fish members from inviting new users. A new tier, Level 2, was created exclusively for highly trusted members. As Darkcode grew in popularity, it ran into a problem that has destroyed countless online forums: trolls. At first, the invite-only system seemed like protection, but that only works if the community actually cares about the platform. And this was a criminal forum. Money changed loyalties very quickly. There was always someone willing to sell an invite for fast cash. Researchers quickly took advantage of that and gained easy access to the site. Naturally, the moderators fought back. They introduced mass demotions, banned suspicious accounts, and even began targeting researchers directly. Hackers on the platform were becoming increasingly paranoid as researchers flooded the site. And then, in 2013, the downfall began. A user known as Special First was elected administrator, and his methods were extreme. Even after banning members who invited researchers, new researchers continued appearing. So Special First began issuing bans to almost anyone who seemed remotely suspicious. Before long, Darkcode consisted mostly of security researchers, FBI agents, and only a handful of highly trusted hackers. But no marketplace can survive without buyers. So Special First started dismantling the exclusivity of the platform, spamming invitations across regular hacking forums. The site even sent messages to old hacking forum mailing lists and posted invitations directly in the comment sections of cybersecurity researchers' blogs. The golden age of Darkcode was clearly over. And only a few years later, the forum was shut down permanently. The operation was called Operation Shrouded Horizon. The FBI, alongside law enforcement agencies from 20 different countries, seized the platform and arrested multiple members. Over the course of 18 months, investigators gathered evidence for numerous crimes, including computer fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, bank fraud, distribution of malicious code, spam operations, identity theft, racketeering, and extortion. In total, around 70 people were arrested worldwide. But obviously, that was only a fraction of the platform's total user base. Many of Darkcode's regular users are likely still out there. Just 2 weeks after the shutdown, the site reportedly resurfaced on the Tor network, this time with supposedly improved security measures. But not long after relaunching, it was hacked again, and its database was leaked. Doxxing. Many of you probably follow internet personalities or creators online. A lot of them remain anonymous to protect their privacy from massive audiences and obsessive followers. But sometimes, a creator says the wrong thing, angers the wrong person, or ends up targeted by a vindictive online community. And that's when doxing begins. If you're unfamiliar with the term, doxing is the act of exposing someone's private information, such as their real name, home address, or banking details, without their consent. Not only is it dangerous, it's illegal in most countries. And considering the internet isn't exactly filled with the most stable individuals, things can escalate very quickly. Victims receive death threats. Others are targeted with fake emergency calls leading armed SWAT teams to show up at their homes as a prank. Even though doxing is illegal, certain dark web platforms simply ignored the law entirely. One site built specifically for this purpose was doxxing. Doxxing functions similarly to a pastebin, a website where users could upload text files and share them through public links. But unlike normal paste sites, doxxing specialized in leaked personal information. The site described itself as judge, jury, and executioner for all matters relating to onion services. Doxxing first gained major attention when one of its administrators, known online as Entangar, hacked the hidden wiki. The hidden wiki was essentially a directory page containing links to various dark web websites, including illegal ones. Some of those links pointed to sites that Entangar strongly opposed. So he hacked the hidden wiki and completely wiped portions of the site. Afterward, he posted a message on doxxing claiming he would support the hidden wiki under two conditions. First, certain illegal websites could no longer be linked. And second, the platform needed community editing capabilities. Entangar claimed that his goal was to do something positive, while simultaneously exposing the hidden wiki's terrible security. He even managed to seize control of the site's domain. Not everyone on Reddit reacted positively to the incident. Most users weren't defending illegal content. Their concern was censorship itself. One Reddit user wrote, "This is about keeping Tor free." Another argued that protecting children could eventually become an excuse for broader internet control. They pointed to proposals in the United Kingdom where lawmakers once planned to require websites to verify users' ages. Similar systems now exist in several U.S. states. That proposal was eventually abandoned, but Entangar didn't seem concerned about the criticism at all. In a doxxing post, he mocked users complaining about censorship. "What I love," he wrote, "is that the same people crying about internet freedom would instantly beg for their information to be removed if their own personal data got leaked." He also argued that those same users would probably try to remove content themselves if it supported something they disagreed with, such as pro-NSA messaging. After the attack, the hidden wiki eventually returned online and promised to stop linking to certain websites. In an interview with The Guardian, the site administrator, known as Knock, claimed his goal was to expose people who had it coming. One of his earliest targets, what he referred to as Patient Zero, was Jason Lee Van Dyke, a lawyer from Texas. Van Dyke represented a university student who became the victim of a revenge website called Pink Meth. Van Dyke attempted to sue the Tor project, and Knock reportedly viewed that as a direct attack on the Tor network itself. The Tor project is the network infrastructure used by many dark web websites. It allows users to communicate anonymously and conceal their identities online. Knock was also reportedly connected to people associated with the Pink Meth website. And soon afterward, Jason Lee Van Dyke's personal information appeared on Doxxing. Another person targeted online was Robert Whitney. He was doxxed after an online dispute where he claimed to have discovered a security flaw on a coding website. People began sending fake emergency reports to authorities, claiming Whitney's home was in immediate danger. In reality, nothing was happening at all. In one incident, police received reports that multiple people were being held hostage at gunpoint. Naturally, police weren't willing to take chances. Even when officers suspected the emergency calls were fake, they still arrived heavily armed. Eventually, the site was seized in November 2014 during a massive international operation known as Operation Onimus. Authorities never publicly explained how they actually managed to take the platform offline, but several theories quickly emerged. Some believed the website simply contained critical security flaws in its code. Others suspected it involved a direct attack against the Tor network itself. Ironically, despite the nature of the site, authorities reportedly uncovered no personal information belonging to the administrators, and no arrests were ever made. On the Tor network, regaining control of a seized website can actually be surprisingly easy, which meant Doxxing could theoretically return at any moment. Because the administrators were never arrested, they still possessed the private cryptographic key used to control the site. As long as they had access to that key, they could potentially relaunch the platform whenever they wanted. But according to Knock, he had no interest in doing that. In his own words, "It's a 12-year-old skid show, and it's not worth my time." Deep.web. Several of the sources connected to earlier dark web stories often linked back to a site called Deep.web. But if you try visiting it today, you'll discover it no longer exists. Deep.web was essentially a news platform focused almost entirely on the dark web, the Tor network, cryptocurrency, and online privacy. Major developments involving darknet marketplaces often appeared there first. Stories like the hacking of Silk Road were initially reported on Deep.web before mainstream media outlets picked them up. The website even published comparisons between darknet marketplaces, helping users decide which platform was considered the most reliable for purchasing illegal substances. Technically, none of that was directly illegal. The site itself wasn't selling narcotics or conducting criminal transactions, at least on the surface. It was simply a news website. In fact, posting links to black market websites isn't automatically illegal either, even if those sites themselves are deeply questionable. Like many free media platforms, Deep.web displayed advertisements and operated through an affiliate marketing system. You've probably seen something similar. In the description sections of YouTube videos, where creators post Amazon affiliate links and receive a small commission whenever someone buys through them. Deep.web operated in a very similar way. The site posted links to darknet marketplaces, and whenever users purchased products through those links, the site earned a percentage of the revenue. According to an investigation conducted by Israeli authorities, The site's owners, Tor, an Israeli citizen living in Brazil, and Michael Fan, also from Israel, were earning millions of dollars each year through affiliate deals. The United States Department of Justice later claimed that approximately 23.6% of all orders placed on the darknet market Alphabay came through deep.web links. Ironically, that wasn't even the main reason they were arrested. Like countless questionable businessmen before them, they eventually ran into the IRS. Both owners were charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering. They later pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 97 months in prison. Investigators discovered that approximately 8,155 bitcoins had been funneled through shell companies before ending up in their personal wallets. At the time, the cryptocurrency was valued at roughly $8.4 million. Today, that same amount would be worth nearly $890 million. After the arrests, all of it was seized by authorities. The website itself was also taken offline and now survives only through internet archives. But this is the dark web. Whenever one platform disappears, another quickly takes its place. Dread. Dread is essentially a Reddit-style discussion forum built for the dark web, and many people viewed it as the spiritual successor to deep.web. Its popularity exploded in 2018 after Reddit began banning multiple darknet market discussion communities. Users suddenly needed a new place to discuss their favorite Silk Road clones. To this day, Dread still remains online. There's even a dedicated subreddit called r/dreadalert, where users track its status. One of the biggest collapses in darknet market history also unfolded on Dread, when a major marketplace known as Wall Street Market suddenly imploded. The platform was already unstable when the administrators allegedly carried out an exit scam, vanishing with approximately $14 million in cryptocurrency. An exit scam happens when the operators of a business take customer funds and disappear without ever delivering the promised products or services. And on darknet marketplaces, it's extremely common. Most transactions happen in cryptocurrency, which can't simply be reversed like a traditional bank payment. During the chaos, one Wall Street market moderator, known as Medline, began blackmailing users who were trying to leave the platform. Victims were reportedly asked to pay 0.05 Bitcoin or risk having their personal information leaked to law enforcement. A few days later, Medline apparently snapped. The moderator leaked the IP addresses and login credentials for Wall Street Market's servers directly onto Dread. Authorities quickly acted on the information. Just 8 days later, the marketplace was shut down, and 3 people were arrested. But Dread itself wasn't entirely innocent either. Stolen credentials occasionally appeared for sale on the platform. For example, in 2020, a vendor known as Exploit attempted to sell KYC documents, including identification records such as driver's licenses. The seller reportedly offered 100 stolen documents for just $10, with discounts available for bulk purchases. During an independent investigation, CCN obtained several free samples, and according to the report, the files appeared to contain legitimate KYC verification documents linked to Binance, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges. However, Binance has long been known for strong security practices. And at the time, there were no confirmed reports of any major data breach, meaning the documents could have been fabricated. Dread also hosted detailed guides covering the production of illegal narcotics. Inside one of Dread's forum sections, called Substance Manufacturer, users could ask questions about nearly every stage of the manufacturing process. The rules were surprisingly specific. No sharing personal information. No revealing suppliers for raw materials. And absolutely no direct drug sales. Another section, focused on dark net markets, featured reviews of popular marketplaces, helping users avoid scams and identify trusted vendors. XSS. Russia has long carried a reputation for cybercrime activity and a deeply suspicious online underground. And several hidden Russian-language websites have surfaced over the years, accessible only through the Tor network. These platforms specialized in ransomware, zero-day exploits, illegal marketplaces, and advanced cybercrime operations. One of the oldest communities was a site known as Exploit. Since 2005, it had served as a gathering place for underground black hat hackers. Users shared knowledge about social engineering, discovering vulnerabilities, and exploiting security flaws. If you're unfamiliar with the term, social engineering is essentially the art of manipulating people using information, deception, and psychological tactics to trick them into revealing access or performing actions they normally wouldn't. Zero-day vulnerabilities, on the other hand, are security flaws that companies themselves haven't discovered yet. Hackers exploit those weaknesses until the company eventually detects them and releases a patch. Then the search begins again for the next zero-day exploit. Because Exploit was one of the oldest and most established hacking forums online, joining wasn't easy. New users either had to pay a $100 entry fee or prove they had a strong reputation on other cybercrime forums. The closed membership system was designed to keep the platform secure, preventing random users from freely entering and leaving. But in 2021, Exploit suffered a serious breach after an intruder gained access to a server responsible for protecting the forum against DDoS attacks. The attack reportedly disrupted 4 additional websites as well. And after Exploit went down, many users migrated back to Ramp, the marketplace we discussed earlier. Although the original Ramp had been shut down in 2017, A new version, RAMP 2.0, emerged in 2021. But gaining access was almost impossible. Users needed at least 2 months of trusted status on either XSS or exploit, both of which had already been taken offline. That essentially transformed RAMP 2.0 into a retroactive cybercrime community, one where only people who could prove their reputation were allowed inside. What exactly is XSS? Much like exploit, XSS operated as a closed forum. But unlike RAMP, which supported Russian, Mandarin, and English, XSS was focused far more heavily on Russian-speaking cybercriminals. At first glance, joining almost seems simple. Create an account, answer a few questions, and submit your request. Sounds easy, right? But there was one important detail. Every application had to be manually approved by a site administrator. Depending on your reputation, your credentials, and your answers, you could be accepted or rejected for virtually any reason. If you were granted access, you could participate in discussions involving credential theft, software exploits, and valuable zero-day vulnerabilities that still lacked security patches. The platform also went to extreme lengths to protect its users. IP address logging was reportedly disabled, and encrypted private messaging systems were built directly into the site. Until 2021, ransomware discussions were everywhere on the forum. After all, many of the people there were looking to make fast money, or in some cases, thousands of dollars overnight. But eventually, the administrators banned ransomware discussions entirely, most likely because governments around the world were beginning to crack down aggressively on cybercrime communities like these. The forum wanted to avoid becoming the next target. Many of these underground groups eventually migrated to Telegram to continue their operations. Known for its strong free speech stance, Telegram often allows content that other platforms would immediately remove, making it one of the most popular communication tools for cybercriminal communities. It also offers a greater sense of privacy. Although accounts require phone numbers, users can easily create accounts using spoofed or disposable numbers, making it far harder to identify who's really behind the screen. And with that, we've reached the end of some of the internet's most terrifying dark web websites. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, you'll probably enjoy the other videos on this channel too. Also, let me know if you'd like to see another installment in the Dark Web website series. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.